local body elections and ask members to look closely at my SOP number 200 and the provisions within it.
Mr Chair.
Call Chris Hipkins.
Thank you very much, Mr Chair. I'm very excited about this local electoral amendment bill number 2, and I want to start immediately by going to page 17 of the bill, where it talks about a definition of the phrase anonymous. Because what is an anonymous donation? Now, this would be fairly obvious to almost anybody listening in at home on the wireless or watching on TV what an anonymous donation is. It's clearly a donation that someone doesn't know where it's come from. Now, the bill helpfully gives us a definition of an anonymous donation. Anonymous, in relation to an electoral donation, means a donation that is made in such a way that the candidate who receives the donation, A, does not know the identity of the donor, and B, could not, in the circumstances, reasonably expected to know the identity of the donor. So, if somebody has lunch or dinner at a flash restaurant with someone, and they give them an envelope with a cheque for 25 grand in it, the candidate could reasonably be expected to know who was the donor. It's not an anonymous donation. But actually it gets better than that, because if a candidate was flown by private helicopter to a donor's house, mansion in fact, with its giraffe, and given a donation there, and that donor was then to put on a fireworks display for the whole city, that's not an anonymous donation. That's a donation that a candidate could reasonably be expected to know about. So this, of course, is completely unnecessary. The only reason we're debating what an anonymous donation actually is because John Banks filed a return that he knew wasn't true. He filed a return that he knew was not true and claimed that he had received anonymous donations even though he had personally solicited them and personally been given them. He broke the law and he got away with it. He got away with it only because the time frame for prosecution had lapsed.
Sorry to interrupt the honourable member. The time has come for me to report progress.
The House has resumed, Mr Chairman.
Mr Speaker, the committee has considered the Social Security Benefit Categories and Work Focus Amendment Bill and reports it with amendment. The committee has further considered the Student Loan Scheme Amendment Bill number 2 and reports it with amendment. The committee has also considered the Local Electoral Amendment Bill number 2 and reports progress. Mr Speaker, I move that the report be adopted.
The question is that the report be adopted. Those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. The Social Security Benefit Categories and Work Focus Amendment Bill is set down for third reading next sitting day, and the Student Loan Scheme Amendment Bill number 2 is also set down for third reading next sitting day, and the Local Electoral Amendment Bill number 2 is set down for further consideration in committee next sitting day. A point of order, Honourable Hekia Parata.
Mr Speaker, I seek leave to correct a response I gave to a supplementary question asked during question time today.
Leave is sought to make a personal